How many is his?
Oh, here we go. I'm the Red Riding Hood now.
Oh, I'm the Wicked Witch.
These are just awkward.
Mentorship? What kind of... I don't remember seeing that buff before.
It's Kyrian. It's Mort.
We do
I think
another table, please.
You have
Is
to
it
be
Mort
within
or
a
is it
certain
Crit?
distance of Mort. It's Mort.
It's Risen. I've seen Risen
cool.
too.
No, but it's Mort that puts out the buff. I saw it in the Kyrian tree. I assume that was you anyway. Someone in the Kyrian tree has it. And the last time I saw that on me, Mort was in our group.
Ed, do you have that too? Okay, so I see that on my tooltip, I see who's giving me the buff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's something that if you pull out your little dude, you can say, tell him to go out and give somebody some congratulations, something like that.
No, this was a mentorship. It was like a 5% health increase.
Oh, that's Kyrian. I do have that selected. As long as you have above 90% health, you get it.
I assume we're gonna buff after trash.
You mean the one trash guy that runs away?
Wasn't there 4 other guys that we had to kill too?
Yeah, there's 4, like in there.
Alright, so that's it for now. I'll put food near the top of the stairs, mage food.
Okay, before we start pulling, there was a poll put up on Discord last night, and we need our raiders to be answering that before this weekend. One is if you've got your 4 mythics in so you can get your weekly quest done. That's a heroic piece of raid loot. That's going to help us greatly. And the second one is if you've got a mythic plus dungeon run in, at least one. That way you have one choice at a piece of loot in your vault next week. This will help us greatly see who we need to help and break down groups for this weekend so we can get as many raiders done as we possibly can.
That's the type of possibility off the weekly. That right there. That's what I got off the weekly.
Yeah, it's really nice. I would have loved that.
Too lenient. I am, after all, known for my compassionate nature.
Is that ability built onto it?
Let us begin your atonement with a
That's the way it came off the... Yeah, that's the way it came off out of the chest.
Let's
I
drop
wasn't
down
sure
the
if it was some
second
You
round.
have to adjust his mic volume. Just crank it all the way up. It doesn't get any louder than that. It's still not going to be as loud as everybody else, but you'll be able to hear what he's saying.
the hell is that?
There is going to be so much blood on this floor.
There is.
Yep.
Do we have anybody here that has not seen this fight?
Have not seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay. So it was repeating 2 phase. And we fight for the first of the 2, and we hide for the second of the 2. So these pillars are going to block line of sight, and there are various abilities you're going to want to block from that. Kind of the most important thing about this fight is not getting hit by something that happens in P2, because you're going to drop blood on the ground after a few seconds if you get hit by it. And also in phase 1, you're going to get a debuff on you that'll also drop blood. We want to get blood out to the sides of the room, particularly to the ends if possible, because we want to leave the floor free so that we can use the pillars easily to hide. Now, you also don't need to be right behind a pillar to hide. You just have to break line of sight with it. And sometimes it's safer to be a little bit away so that you don't get caught and drop blood right next to it. Okay, so in the first phase, the boss is being tanked, and he's going to put echolocation on people, and that's the thing that makes you have to run away after a second.
Still there? Did you stop talking?
No, he's still talking.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I heard in the first phase, and then that was it.
Okay. Yeah, so first phase, echolocation is going to be on a random player, and well, it's going to be on a set of 3 is what we were getting before. It's probably going to be more than 3 with this raid size. So at any rate, run to the side or preferably to the end of the room, drop your blood circle there, and then come back to the fight. There's some unavoidable damage, nothing you can do about that. And there is a front cone attack from the boss. The boss should be pointed generally away from the raid, but melee, be careful. Don't be in front if you can help it. So we're going to go through...
Sorry to interrupt. Somehow my mic just canceled out. I heard in the first phase, and then I heard nothing until just now.
We can't keep doing this over and over again.
Yeah, this isn't working already.
Can other people hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
I hear you fine.
I hear you fine.
Yep.
All right. So then the other thing we're going to have is we're going to have a couple of shrieks in P1. So shrieks are when we need to block line of sight. That's the only thing you need to block line of sight for in phase 1. If you get hit by that, you're going to drop a puddle of blood. So you must not get hit by that. Everybody needs to get away, and I'll try to call those out with enough warning. The pattern's pretty predictable, and it happens twice. It's basically about half energy and about full energy. And then at the end of that, the boss is going to jump to the middle, and he's going to start channeling. He's going to send out all these little echoes, and they will bounce off the pillars. So if you're behind a pillar from them, they will not hit you, but they will also go past and come back and start bouncing in behind us. So that's what you got to dodge. So at the end of that channel where he starts sending these things out, he will then start to move. Basically, as soon as he's finished channeling, he's going to have a large blood circle around him. If that circle intersects you in phase 2, you will die. It's an insta-kill. So you need to be able to move away from that if he's near you. you need to generally stay on the other side of a pillar to block line of sight, and you must be behind a pillar when he does the shriek in P2. So he will do the shriek multiple times in P2. I think it's something like 4 times, maybe 3. You want to be in a position to get behind the pillar, and it's easy at first, but once blood goes down, because people weren't behind pillars, it becomes more difficult. It's harder to dodge. You may need to be further away from a pillar, as I was saying before, but it's really important that you don't get caught by that, because blood on the ground will just basically make it snowball out of control. So we get through that. It's about 3 or 4 shrieks in P2, and that's it. Then we're back into P1. The whole thing repeats. And once he starts channeling those echoes at the beginning of P2, he will take no damage. He's completely immune, so there's no point in damaging him. You can damage him right up until he finishes casting Blood Shroud, I think. But you want to hide right before the end of Blood Shroud, because it's going to knock you back. You might wind up in a blood puddle. But basically, you have a few extra seconds of DPS and then hide at the start of P2. And then the whole thing's repeat. So most important things: do not get caught by ear-splitting shriek in line of sight. And if echolocation's on you in P1, run it out to the end. All right, yes, if we could drop a cauldron, please. Have we done food yet?
1 sec, I'll drop it.
Yes, food was dropped.
All right, Ed's going to do a cauldron.
Two cauldrons. Got 1 cauldron.
Whoa, cauldron was there and then it went bye-bye.
Yeah, so if you took a second one, who didn't get a flask?
I didn't.
Do we place 2? Just the 1, right?
Let's put 1 down.
All right, so Karen needs 1, Demon Breath needs 1. Let me put some marks on people.
Why is it so quiet? I didn't get these to curse, so I guess there. No, I'm still there. Okay.
All right, I got 1 now. Thank you.
All right, there's a star needs 1.
Trucky, Tally just gave me 1.
I got you.
All right, so I think we just had 3 people that didn't get them then. There should be 2 left over.
Yeah, I'll just use my own.
4 people didn't get them. Yeah, I've got some I can use.
That's weird.
I have 1 I can give somebody.
So with this size, folks, you can only take 1 out of there. And I assume that either Taz or Ed canceled their drop, right?
I put mine down.
Oh, I saw the 1 pop.
Okay. Yeah, you're Ed on called out both, but I think it calls out when they're starting to be placed. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I also have 2 cauldrons.
Well, we can switch Tally over and keep Graph in reserve. Why don't you go heals, Tally?
There's going to be a lot of damage coming out, especially the first couple of kills.
Tell you, throw your beacon on Nate. I got 1 on Kit.
Everybody got oils?
Yipper.
All right, putting up timer. Remember, there's a frontal cleave here. Echoes out to the wall.
2, 1.
You get a red arrow over your head for echo, take it out to the wall now.
Shockwave. Taunt the boss.
Echoes. There they are, run them out. 5 seconds to shriek. Make your way to where you can break line of sight. Break line of sight now. Hide. Alright, that was first half of phase. Second half is just the same.
2, 1.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss. Shockwave.
Careful, careful. You gotta make sure those cleaves are faced away.
Use a defensive. 1.
Echoes. This is the last echo in the phase. Run them out. Gotta hide shriek in 6 seconds. This is gonna be the final shriek. Hide. Alright, he's gonna jump to the middle. You got a few seconds to DPS. Alright, now hide. Alright, so at the end of this, he's sending out the echoes. At the end of this channel, he's going to start moving. That red circle around him will kill you if it touches you.
And it goes to the pillars too, so be careful.
Yeah, it'll kill you if it touches you. He's going to shriek right now. Hide. Don't let these echoes touch you. They're going to drop more blood. Don't let the echoes touch you. Shriek, hide, hide, hide. One more shriek coming. No, never mind. It's done. Alright, we swapped him down to the other end here. You running him back up? Let's get him back up. Watch Truckee. Watch it, watch it. You got pulled around for swipe. Is something taunting him towards the group?
I think he points to the person he's gonna swipe at, so I don't think it swipes right at the tank.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yeah, you're right. It is random.
Okay.
The swipe is at a melee.
2, 1.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss. You gotta find some shelter.
Hide.
Three, 2, 1.
Echoes, run him out.
Shockwave.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing so much of that last time, I think, because of the melee. We just have double tonight.
3, 2,
Echoes.
1. Taunt the boss.
Run him out. So there's not much going to be much room to hide this time because of all the blood that went down in the first phase. We're going to have to do our best. Hide. Line of sight, line of sight. We're going to have to do our best to hide from a distance. It's better to catch a little bit of a blood puddle.
2, 1.
Alright, you ready to hide? It's better to catch a little bit of a blood puddle than to leave a puddle on the ground.
Phase change.
So the echoes, do not let the echoes touch you. It's going to make blood. What happens is you're going to get a dive bombed after a few seconds, and that leaves the blood. Shriek, hide. Dodge.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide.
Watch your feet.
We lost both tanks. Wipe it up.
Too much blood.
It's
Yeah,
going
way
good.
too much.
Taunt the boss.
Yeah, I didn't emphasize enough about the echoes. We have to dodge the echoes.
Yeah,
Just
better
stand in blood.
take an echo.
Stand in blood.
Shockwave. Taunt the boss.
Just stand right in blood.
Here's some cookies as well.
Thanks for the food. Oh, Cookie's way in the back there.
Yeah, it was fun to get it because right underneath the one NPC.
There was a cask river, so I kept trying to do the quest second too.
Yeah, if you need hellstones, they're at the doorway behind us, where we came up.
Does anybody know if you can use sharpening stones and oils, or is it one or the other?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That you could probably do, yeah.
We're missing a Paliora.
I've got mine up, the dev. I actually should have 3.
Yep. Yeah, we're good now.
Gammon will save us.
So in P2, when we're hiding, if you're going to be in a bad situation for dodging his shriek, rather than get hit with an echo right next to the pillar, like if there's echoes coming to the pillar right there and you might not be able to catch it, move back and try to break line of sight further back. If you get caught out in the open further back, at least you're going to drop a puddle further back. But let's really try to keep that area around there clear. If there's no echoes nearby, definitely hide there. Just try not to clog up that spot. All right, timer's going up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use a defense. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1.
Echoes. Shriek in about 5.
Use a defensive.
Ready to hide.
You gotta find some shelter.
Alright, hide.
Fast, fast, fast.
3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Use a defensive. Shockwave. Three. Taunt the boss. 2, 1.
Echoes. This is the last echo of the phase. Shriek in 3, we're gonna hide.
You gotta
Hide. He's gonna jump to the middle. Ready to hide again.
1.
Alright. It's gonna send out the echoes. You're starting to dodge here. He's moving.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide, hide, hide. Dodge.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide. Dodge.
You gotta find
Hide.
some shelter.
Should be the last hide.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
I'd say we move him to the other side.
Yeah,
what
take
happened
him to the
there?
other end.
3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Shockwave. Taunt the boss. 3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Use a defensive. You gotta find some shelter.
Hide, 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 hide. Line of sight. Alright.
3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss.
There they are.
Shockwave. Use a defensive. 3, 2, 1.
Echoes. This is the last one of the phase. Gonna have to hide here in a moment. Hide.
Watch your feet.
Alright, he's gonna jump to the middle.
Try to keep this pillar over here clean.
And then hide.
3, 2. Phase change.
Alright, he's gonna start to move now. You're dodging. You're about to hide. Now hide. A little bit of blood's better than getting caught by a new thing and making more puddles.
Watch your feet. You gotta find some
Hide. Dodge. Dodge, 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 dodge. One more hide. Hide now. Dodge. Okay.
Down.
Use a defensive.
Steven, get him just a little more in the middle from there.
3, 2, 1.
There you go. Alright, echoes.
Shockwave. Use a defensive. 3, 2,
Echoes. Shriek at the end of this. Get ready to hide.
Taunt the boss. You gotta
Hide.
find shelter. Three, two, one.
Echoes.
Use a defensive. Shockwave.
Echoes. And 2.
Taunt the boss. 1.
Echoes. Ready to hide.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide. Let's jump into the middle.
Soft and rage, I think.
2.
Oh no, I do have one more phase.
Start hiding. He's probably going to move down towards where everybody is, most likely. All right. Dodging, 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 hide. Dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge.
You gotta find some
Hide. That spot's going to be bad. Keep dodging. Leave a little bit of room. Hide. Hide now. Dodge. Alright. See if we can finish them off real quick.
With 3 people?
Tanks?
No, no tanks left.
Snake's alive.
3, 2.
1 tank left.
No, it's not.
Go, Asmo. Kick his ass, Asmo.
Shockwave.
Oh.
That was better.
Yeah, it was better. So, again, better to step in a little bit of a puddle than to get hit by an echo. And the other thing is, if you've been hit, you can actually, well, you can get out of where the blood's going to go. But the blood's already going to go where you've been hit.
And when we're dropping the bloods out, you can overlap that too. It doesn't hurt very much to stand on it for a second.
Yeah, we don't have to paint a big area. Generally, that's not much of what's on the floor, but you can tuck them in. You know, at least overlap them.
Yeah, I was
But,
just thinking the more space to start with, maybe we'll have a few spots left.
Yeah, and especially the early echo locations, if you can take them down to the ends of the room as opposed to the sides, that gives us a little more room to play around there. But yeah, those first few shrieks in the P2s, you know, if we're not putting down much blood from that, and we're not getting hit by the, especially not getting hit by the echoes bouncing around, that just gives us so much more space in the rest of the fight.
So I had a question. When we're tanking him at the end, do we need to have him like tucked over towards the side behind a pillar, or is it better to have him more towards the middle, so the range have a better, like a clearer shot at him?
It's better to have him roughly about where he is when we start the fight, right? So a little more towards the center, so that there's more lines to see him from,
Yeah.
and people know what to expect. It's just a question of, is there room to do that?
Okay, yeah, I just know sometimes he kind of drifts towards a pillar, and like we gotta move around a lot to get a clear shot on him.
Yeah, when the tanks are hiding, he naturally will chase him a little bit, both before and after he stops to channel, so they have to pull him back out. All right, that was a 9%, so if we improve half as much this time, he's dead. Alright, timer's going up.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
We're gonna.
Use a defensive. 3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Shockwave. Taunt the boss. Three, two, 1.
Echoes. Shriek in 3.
Use a defensive. Taunt the boss.
Ready to hide.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide.
Three, two, 1.
Echoes.
Use a defensive. Shockwave. Three, two, 1.
Echoes. Shriek at the end of this. And hide. Hide. Alright, he's going to jump to the middle.
2, 1.
We got a couple seconds of DPS, but be ready to hide. And hide.
Phase change.
Alright, he's moving now. Keep dodging, keep dodging. Most important to dodge.
You gotta
Now
find
hide.
some shelter.
Dodge. Wow, we got a whole wall of blood down here. Hide. Dodge. It's better to take a little bit of blood than to get caught.
You gotta find some
Hide. Dodge. Alright, it's not that bad. We got 2 corners that are bad, but the rest of it's not too bad.
Use a defensive. 3, 2, 1.
Echoes.
Shockwave. Taunt the boss. Three, two, 1.
Echoes. Alright, this is going to be Shriek at the end of this.
Use a defensive.
Ready to hide? Hide now. Alright.
3,
One more set here.
1.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss. Shockwave.
See if we can get him down to 25 at the end of this.
3. Use a defensive. 1.
Echoes. Ready to hide? Hide now. Hide now. Let's go into the middle.
2, 1.
Alright, start dodging. Dodge.
You gotta find some shelter.
Hide. Dodge.
You gotta find
Hide.
some shelter.
Dodge. Keep dodging.
You gotta find
Hide, hide, hide. Dodge. Phase over. Yeah, we'll get him back down at the end. Yep. We got a little bit of room over there. We got this.
taunt the boss.
Make sure to move those echoes out.
1.
Echoes.
Shockwave. Use a defense. Three, two, one.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss.
And hide. Hide.
Three, two, one.
Echoes.
Use a defense.
See if we can kill him before the break.
Shockwave. Three, two, one.
Echoes.
Taunt the boss.
Yep, finish him up.
You gotta find some shelter.
Whew. Nice. It's actually a pretty fast kill.
New record. The two was off it.
So I got loot even though I did LFR.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good
me
thing.
too, Liddy.
Yeah, they said they fixed it.
Chance against Nathrius. We must deprive him of his most prized possessions.
Ooh, nice. Got that trinket tie.
Take to reach them.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a good trinket. I use it.
All right, we're gonna go Huntsman.
Remember, take down the big guy first.
The rider.
Yeah, I think he's the one that does all our casting. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different room.
Now, what was the deal with this part, Mini? Because it was pretty chaotic last time.
It's traps.
Traps.
I had forgotten, honestly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. They were shooting into the doorway. If we can move in and spread out a little bit, careful. Yeah, it's this repelling shot thing.
That was throwing us into people.
Yeah, just don't go in too far. There's another little group down there. All right, we got them. Tanks, just pick them up. It's 3 littler guys.
I grasped as much as I could.
Is he letting... What's he doing? Is he locking people up? No, he's letting out more Gargans. Yeah, finish off the Overseer. He's letting dogs out. I guess that means we've answered the question.
We have.
Careful, there's traps down. You see those traps, red swirlies? That went better.
Lots better. I don't know, that was kind of cool.
A double eye beam?
Yeah, from 2 different directions.
Yeah, I laughed at that too.
The general's just waiting for it to be completely safe before he opens the gate for us.
Good to go, judging why we do trash.
Can't have an NPC helping out.
So we can advance to the lower levels of the castle.
Another overseer there. And rages on the Gargans if you can sue those off.
I'm gonna interrupt.
I can smell your fear. Margot, to me.
Anyway, you go over it for the people that weren't here. I'm going to take a quick bio.
All right.
Me too.
Yeah, so this one, he's got 3 pets that we're going to fight alongside of him for most of the battle. So the first one will be around till he's at 70. Then the next one comes out, that's around till he's at 40, and the last one is around till he's at 10. And we finish him off. Health is shared with the pets, but you can also damage both of them. So I shouldn't say health is shared, but any damage you do to one is done to the other. So damage the boss, the pet is damaged. Damage the pet, the boss is damaged. So in phase 1, we're going to have the ad, which is Margor by the boss. And he will periodically lunge at people, and you're going to get a red swirly around that person. And we need to soak that with a group's worth of people or a little more. Like with this raid size, probably about 7-8 people soaking would be good. So basically, if it's in melee, it's pretty easy to put the melee stack on it, and the more people are in there, the less damage anybody takes. And at range, we'll try to get, at least 5 or 6 people, maybe a little more in there. There's tank swaps going on, but we just DPS him down to 70. So that's the simplest part of the fight. The next part of the fight is Bargast. So, yeah.
You forgot one ability.
Oh, the Spreadshot?
Yeah, Sunseeker.
Oh, right, yeah, Sinseeker. Yeah, thank you. That's going to go on the entire fight. Yeah, I skipped right to the dogs. Yeah, Sinseeker is the entire fight. He's going to mark you with an arrow, and it'll be 3 people. And you can strafe a little bit to get away from a pack that you're in, but only for a couple of seconds, and then after that, people need to make sure they're not in line with where the Sinseeker is going, because it will it'll hit everybody that it goes through, basically, and it's going to put a pretty good magic dot on whoever it hits. So we only want it hitting the one person, and that person will require some decent healing for a while, basically. A second stack of Sinseeker on you, which can happen randomly, is pretty bad. Hopefully the first stack, the first stack shouldn't last for very long while the second's on there. But if you have any sort of personal defensives, that's a great time to use them. If you have any sort of immunity, that's fantastic to get rid of the dot. And he's also going to do these little cleaves, a Spreadshot Cleave, which is randomly aimed. And basically, we just want to be clumped loosely, particularly at range. Not everybody stacked really tight. Melee, it's a little harder to dodge that, but it's hard to avoid. So basically, it either hits you or it doesn't. So dog number 2, 70% Bargast. Bargast will be held separately because he is going to do, or he's going to spawn these shades. And he's also going to rip the soul out of a player, and so that player's soul will appear at Bargast and move to the boss, and needs to get healed up before it reaches there by our healers. And then the shade, what we're going to do with the shade is we will CC the shade, and while the shade is CC'd, it builds up stacks that increase the damage it takes. And we'll leave it like that, trying not to hit both Bargast and the shade. In fact, we'll be concentrating. What we did last week was we DPS'd the Huntsman instead of Bargast during that phase to make it less likely we would cleave the shade before we wanted to. And then we'll call a switch back to the shade, and we'll finish it off once its stacks are roughly 10 or so, when it's about half energy. So, yeah.
With all the melee, do you want them on the Huntsman or on the dog at that phase?
We have to kill off the shade, so I think we probably do want them to move. It's not ideal, I know. I mean, it would be better to have them on Bargast and then go to the shade.
One thing I was going to say then, the other two DKs, watch your diseases on when you're in that phase. You don't want to dot it. They can't CC it then.
Yeah.
I think that's why we were doing the guide, so the dog.
Yeah, I think we'll stay with that. I don't, we're going to miss a few seconds, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. And the dog's going to burn, the shade will burn pretty fast once we switch to it. So I think it's better just to stay on the Huntsman. If you have really good single target, if there's no chance you can cleave, you can hit Bargast. Up to you on that, but particularly if you have any sort of cleave that's hard to control, I'd say stay on the Huntsman until we call to hit the shade. So if we do wake it up beforehand, we're just going to keep re-CCing it, even though it's got dots on it, until we get the stacks where we want it, and then we'll blow it up. So it will cast, what does it cast? Roar. It casts Deathly Roar, which is a really bad thing. We don't want that to happen, so we can CC it before that happens. You can't interrupt it. So we will potentially be re-CCing it as we're burning it, just to stop the roar from happening. In fact, we guaranteed we will do it a couple times. But Druids in particular have a good CC for it. So that happens till we get him down to about 40, and we may want to pause damage on the boss if we're going to switch over while we still have a shade up. Ideally, we kill off the shade and then push the boss to the next phase before we get another shade up from Bargast. And then the last ad is Hecutus or Hecutus. So this is a big kind of tanky dog, and he's going to get pulled around pretty frequently by the tank, so Truck is going to be sort of moving him fairly often right around by the boss. So we'll be able to cleave most of the time, but not necessarily all the time, and that's because if he builds up enough stacks, what's he going to do? He's going to eat the tank he's on. But when we move him, we all take a bit of physical damage. Actually, it's nature damage. We all take damage during that. So we're saving hero for that last dog. So a few percent into that last dog, we'll pop hero. It'll probably be done before we kill the dog, but that's all right. Once we get him down, and the boss is at 10%, we just finish off the boss.
Let me call out the rip souls for the second phase like I was before.
Yeah, please.
Also on Hecutus, he does Petrifying Howl. You're going to get a brown circle around you. As usual, just run them to a wall.
Right, yeah, that's going to leave a void zone on the ground, a brown void zone. Yeah, thanks. So that's that last phase, just run them out. That's the only thing you have to run out in this fight is that one. So again, you're going to stay loosely spread, particularly at range when you can. First boss, we're gonna soak the vicious lunge. So that's the red swirly. You want to help people and get in that.
Pally's
And then-
good blessing of protection to help someone solo that.
Yeah, that's true. You can solo it in immunity. If you're gonna do that, call it out ASAP. If you're gonna solo it with an immunity. But it's not a big deal because you know, if you're near other people, it's not too hard to stack people up and survive it. And then in that last phase, yeah, run out the brown circles.
And really try to keep them out of my path when I have that dog, because I gotta move them constantly. Well, not constantly, but I gotta move them all fast.
Yeah, we just want to get them out. That should be the center of the room. We'll leave free.
As Brawless just pointed out in chat, don't hesitate once you get that circle because your movement speed slows down. Run it to a wall immediately.
Yeah, the only other way you're going to get there if you get too slow is a priest pulling you out.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, some folks have movement abilities that should still work.
Night Fate.
But I don't think that you can't clear that until it drops off you. You won't be able to clear your snare.
Or we throw a portal up in the middle and have it on one of the edges.
Yeah, we could. That'll work for. That'll work till we drop a void zone under it. Even then, it's not that much damage.
But it would help for some people.
Yeah, we could. So we could send it, yeah, just like that. Thanks.
Thanks.
Ludi, all set?
She's working with the boys at the moment. Just a second.
Nate, why don't we switch on 3 stacks this week? Might be a little bit easier on the healers.
Sure.
Look, see, there's a mailbox in the corner.
I'm here.
Okay. Putting up timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The hunt begins. Nothing escapes my sight.
Lunge in 4. Yeah, just range, soak that more. Good. And spread back out a little. Alright, those are the Sin Seekers. Don't be in a line with them. Yeah, you can move for a couple seconds and then pause, and then if you happen to be in a line with those people, get out of the way. Soak it, range. So Nature, you're going to do the CC for us?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nature. You're really good at that.
Sin Seekers, careful.
Please don't point it at the tank.
Zeph has 2 stacks. Alright. Bargast coming up. Bargast is going to the wall. We're DPSing the boss at this point. Shade's showing up in 7 seconds. Rip is out.
Yep, Rip's out.
Shade is up. There it is.
Rip?
Soul's
Got
getting
it.
close. Soul's getting close.
Heals on the soul. Heal up that soul. There we go. Sin Seekers, careful.
Man, he likes me with that ability today. I must have been a bad boy this week.
Rip Soul now. Rip Soul's moving. Alright, switch to Bargast. Everybody kill Shade of Bargast. Shade of Bargast, everybody now. Chain CC time.
Got it.
Rip within 5,